Hey guys, and welcome to Car Guy 1999 Reviews. Today I have a 2008 Tesla Roadster, and this is the signature edition. So for the first 100 are the signature edition. This one is number 22, as you can see here, and by the VIN number. And it is absolutely gorgeous in person. The camera will not pick up the lines of this car. Now, as many of you know that are watching this video, in 2020 proposed, Tesla is going to release the new Roadster, and it's going to be a $200,000 plus car, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. So I figured we'll take a look at this one and see where Tesla came from, because this was Tesla's first car. Now, the owner has put on the 2012 bumper, and it looks a lot better because here is the original 2008 bumper, and it's a little basic, and the 2012, which is one of 500 in 2012, just looks so much better. We'll take a quick peek into the interior here. You have the carbon fiber, which is a $5,000 option. Carbon fiber on the mirrors here. In order to get in, right behind the door handle, there's a little button. You just push on the button and the door opens right up. On the door sill here, you have signature 100, as well as all the carbon fiber in here. Now this is one of the most difficult cars to get in and out of. Once you're inside, it is very comfortable. It's very reminiscent of a Lotus. However, only 7% of the parts are from Lotus. 93% of this is all Tesla. And it's absolutely gorgeous. You have carbon fiber everywhere. The centerpiece here is all carbon fiber. Your traction control, your climate control settings. And you have a small touch screen here that shows your different driving modes, performance, maximum economy, and your normal. Your trunk release here, which the batteries are held in the back. So let's go ahead and take a point of view test drive of this 2008 Tesla Roadster. Hey guys, this is Car Guy 1999 Reviews again. So I'm just cutting in here. I realized as I was making this video that I didn't have very many facts in the video. So I asked the owner to send me some facts, and he did. I'm going to include a full facts list in the description below. So just interrupting the video a little bit, I'm just going to go over the major facts. So this Tesla Roadster is number 22. It was purchased from previous owner Michael Marks, CEO of Tesla Motors at the time of purchase. So it goes up to 1400 RPM, 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, 288 brake horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, curb weight of a little over 2,600 pounds. So it's very lightweight with all the batteries. The wheelbase is 92.6 inches. It's 155 inches long, 67 inches wide, and 44 inches tall. 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds. Fuel economy is 105 miles per gallon. The range combined is 220 miles. Recharge time is 3.5 hours at 220 volts / 70 amps. The original window sticker of this car, as configured, is $146,457. It has some pretty decent options on it. It's the executive two-tone leather, as you can see in this picture here. The paint armor, well, the two-tone leather was $7,800. The paint armor was $1,400. The soft top was replaced with the carbon fiber roof, which I'll show in this picture here. That was a $5,000 option. You have the Tesla floor mats, which were $150. Electronics group is $3,000. The metallic paint is $1,000. And the Solar Guard windshield is $400. So this car is very, very high optioned for what it was at the time, because this car is a 2008. Let's just scroll through some photos here that I took while there. As you can see up there on the windshield, it says number 22. Over here is the 08 bumper. This is the 2012 bumper. So yeah, it's a very, very good looking car. So I'll include more facts in the description box below. So enjoy the video.
Because I'm going to turn off, we're going to just drop it in and go. So we'll just do a walk around when we park.
Okay. Alright, so then just parking brake down. Sorry.
Yep.
And then straight down.
Yep. Okay, now see where it's on over there? Hit that button on the screen.
Right here?
Yep. And then wait for a second. No, it's on performance. If you hit the green bar,
it goes into
three
normal.
Different modes. That's standard. That's if you go
Max
long
range.
distances.
Yep. And then performance again. Alright.
Okay.
Very tight steering.
Yeah, there's no power steering.
Oh, okay,
So
that would explain
it's
that.
very, very hard once you start the car, but then as soon as you get rolling, it gets easier.
Oh, that is very touchy. Just like the Model X.
What you're going to find out, yes, way more than the Model S, there's a lot of regenerative braking, so the car stops really quickly when you let go of the gas.
Yeah, that's what I just found out there.
Yep.
This is the smallest steering wheel I've ever held in my hands.
Yeah, it's actually perfect for my small hands. So what else? Yeah, I'll enjoy it. You go right here.
Where's the, right here?
Yep.
Oh, I see that power steering. There we go.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Like this, especially around here, it's tight.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go faster. Just getting used to it, I know.
Yeah. Wow, this thing is fun.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It handles insanely well. And the sound is unique. It is a lot more into it than like a Model S or a Model X. You'll hear it. I'm assuming you'll hear it on the camera also.
It's taking a right here, or?
Now you're going to go straight across where that car's coming out.
Oh, wow, that's touchy.
You got to go left, so it's not that difficult. It's going to watch him and the car's coming left. Yeah.
Good that way.
A lot of cars. Nope. There's 4 cars, 5 cars. Good amount of cars coming, so we'll be here for a little bit.
And it's that way too.
Yep. But feel free to, hit it a little. Obviously, you don't want to go straight into that. So
yeah, no, that's a bad idea.
It's a new car for you, so
yeah,
you're good to go now.
All right.
So, now you can gun it.
Wow.
For an old car, 10 years old, it has a good pickup. Remember, when this car came out, it was faster than the Ferraris. So nowadays, it feels slower than what you feel in the Model S or the Model X. Because it's 0 to 60 in about 3.6, 3.7, probably 3.7. But the feeling's still great. Especially in a small light car.
Right. Stop sign right here.
Yeah, and just hug to the right because cars come straight at you to the left.
Alright, we're going left?
You're gonna go right.
Alright, mind if I feel it a little bit? Yeah, that's good for an 08. Oh, that's awesome.
And this is the first, production electric car that started it all.
Yeah, this started everything with Tesla.
Yep, and this is number 22. Purchased from one of the CEOs at the time. Not Elon. But when Elon was at SpaceX, this gentleman was the interim CEO. So it's a signature 100, which I know you're going to talk about later.
Yep. And feel free to just start listing off like facts about this car too, because a lot of people like that with the Model X.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I didn't prepare. We scheduled this today to come by, and my memory is not that great. And this car's 5 years old for me. So although it's older, I picked it up 5 years ago. So back then there was nobody with Teslas pretty much. I remember driving this car and getting yelled at by locals. Like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And I would retaliate with, I'm saving the world. This is an electric car. It's Tesla. And they were all like, well, Tesla's going out of business. And I was like, no, that's Fisker Karma.
Yeah.
So this is a long time ago. That was probably arguing back in 2013 on that one. But as much as I remember, I don't want to. I can't guarantee every fact I'm going to state is as factual, every comment. But I think it's
right.
Yeah, you're going to go right.
Okay.
I think it's around 450 horsepower. I'd like to say around 3,100 pounds. Again, I would hate for people to start, stating that some facts are slightly off. I'm very good when it comes to the Model S and the Model X. I research everything. I've stayed on top of them from the moment I've got them.
Right.
But so this car is, I would say, rear-wheel drive, and it's not all-wheel drive. It's got a battery in the back, unlike the Model S and Model X, where it's underneath the whole car.
Right.
So I would say it's more towards the way they designed this car to feel and drive is like a 911.
Right.
It's more of like a mid-engine type feel. So it's like kind of like right in front of the back wheels is where the batteries are. So it kind of has the weight there.
Yep.
So that's pretty accurate, what I'm stating. Let's see, what other questions would you have?
So how much does this weigh? Because I know it's based off the Lotus Elise, which is a really lightweight car.
Well, again, so people, and that's one thing that always frustrated me when I got the car. People say, oh, it's a Lotus. I'm like, no. 7% of the Lotus is left in any Roadster. Just 7%. 93% different.
Really?
The front windshield is one of that 7%. So they took the chassis, that's all they took, and they widened it and lengthened it. So you don't have a transmission, you don't have any of the gas, engine, piston, cylinders, transmission, none of that. So now you have batteries. The PEM, which is the electronics module, is also in the back. This is 100% carbon fiber.
Wow.
So that's another huge thing. So most cars that were 100% carbon fiber are like $500,000 to $1 million.
Right.
So they lost a lot of money with, especially the first 50 Roadsters. They were losing so much that Elon literally, there was a couple of other things Eberhard did wrong. Eberhard, who started the company, Martin Eberhard. A lot of people think Elon Musk founded Tesla. He didn't found Tesla. He didn't even found PayPal. He merged into PayPal. Okay, let's go back now. So Eberhard was making these with military-grade parts, 100% carbon fiber, and it just got to the point where they couldn't make money. They were selling for about $120,000. It was a good start, so they tweaked it. They dumbed it down a lot. Like the front hood became plastic, or fiberglass. The back, most of the car was still carbon fiber from all the way up through about 2,500 units that they finally produced. So there's about 1,500 in America, 1,000 overseas, of which I wouldn't think more than 2,300 still exist.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of accidents. If you crash a 100% carbon fiber car, it's pretty much total.
Right.
So these cars are getting harder and harder to find or see. Most people just put them away. I drive it maybe a few hundred miles a year. I don't drive it much at all. You're going to take the next right at the light.
Okay.
Up ahead.
It's like I've seen 2 of these, actually 3 including yours, in my entire life. So they're very rare. Whereas you see like countless Model S, Model X's now.
Yeah. So, this is a very good handling car, but the Elise is actually a better handling car. But if you really try to, use this as a sports car, unlike the Model S and Model X, you're going to feel like you're in a sports car, and you can actually handle very well.
Right, I'm starting to notice that just driving.
Oh my God, if you let this thing out, I was literally in a situation, I'm not proud of this at all, and I've changed my driving with this car, but I was in a situation where I was going too fast, and a car pulled out in front. He was wrong to pull out in front of me, but this car literally saved my life in the same way it almost killed me. I actually turned the camera off. The car pulled out in front of me, and I'm lucky when he pulled out. Obviously, there's a straight, but there's also where he came from, which is to the right.
Yeah.
So I'm about to hit this guy going about 70 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And I saw my life, like, 'cause this car is low down. I know it's strong. It's carbon fiber, but I don't see how it would have survived. So I had one choice, basically, to turn right as I'm driving that fast. And it literally did it no problem.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was just like laughing almost, like in shock, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just a perfect, it's like, imagine going 70 and then whipping it.
That's insane.
Yeah, and luckily, so now what I've learned, though, I don't go that fast, but I've learned it's a lot of fun taking turns really fast in this car. So, yeah. Whereas the Model S and Model X, no way.
Yeah.
Model X, I feel like I tip over, even though it is low center of gravity for an SUV. I wouldn't do it. And the Model S just doesn't handle that well.
Right. And they kind of shifted focus for the Model S and Model X. They turned them into straight line, like acceleration cars. Whereas this was a really good all-around car.
Yep.
Taking a right or left up here?
You can go left, yeah. So you gotta follow these cars.
It's so weird because I'm not using the brake at all.
No, I never use the brake in this car. So people who know the Model S, it's so different from a Model S. You have to use the brake, I'd say,
sometimes.
at least 25% of the time. The Model X, 10% of the time. This car, 0. I mean, the only time you'd have to do it is if you have to just completely go to a dead stop. And even then, sometimes you wouldn't have to. This car stops itself amazing.
All right, we good?
Yep. You can talk about how it feels to try this car.
Yeah.
Any other car, because it's kind of like interesting between the value, the rarity, the irreplaceable. It's irreplaceable.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm like kind of nervous driving it, and it's really weird. It's not well, okay, it is kind of intimidating just because of the value and stuff like that, but it's not difficult in any way.
So what do you think, as an unbiased person in this, what do you think the value of this car is going to be, knowing that it's a signature 100, 22nd ever produced electric production car? The new Roadster is finally announced, coming out. What do you think? I mean, what's your opinion of the future value?
I have no idea. It's really weird because it really could go either way. People could be like, oh wow, it's a new one and it's faster, so they're gonna almost forget this. But then on the flip side, this is where Tesla came from, and as they get more and more popular, this will get rarer and rarer, and the value will start to go up. So it's really weird how it's gonna end up.
And if you look at the NSX, the original one, is picking up value.
Yeah, those are really picking up.
It doesn't have the importance in history like this original Tesla does, I think.
Right.
Because Acura was around so long before they came out with that sports car.
Yep.
Whereas this started Tesla. So it's interesting, though. You have a great electric NSX that came out recently, and the value of the old one went up, and people want it more. So I'm thinking that could happen with this, or it will happen, and then you add the whole, the initial car for Tesla, I think.
Right.
I think one day this could be, that's why I have it. I honestly don't drive it much. I'm letting you drive it. I think I've drove it like 3 times this year. So it sits in the garage.
I'm gonna go for it, is that okay?
Yep. And there is a police station up ahead. Good.
That is...
Yeah, you'll be able to let it out soon.
It's like... It's so weird to say that this is the slowest Tesla, because it's really fast, but the Model S and Model X have faster acceleration, and this is probably second to the Model X for fastest car I've ever driven.
Right, and now that they got rid of all the in-between performance vehicles, keep in mind this is still going to be faster than most Model X or Model X's, unless you have a performance P100 now.
Right, that's what I was talking about.
So yeah, I know you were, but I just want to let people understand that most people are going to be getting 4 or 5 second Model S's, Model X's.
Right. Do you want to cut the camera? Because there's no power steering, which is actually new to me. I didn't know everything was kind of manual. Power steering, well, lack of, leads to really heavy steering and stuff like that.
Yeah, the getting used to the no power steering is really difficult.
Oh yeah.
You have to be.
Here we go.
Yeah, just go straight. Turning in this car is, or pulling out of a parking spot is not easy if you're not used to it.
Right.
Once you get going though, it's super easy. You wouldn't even know it wasn't power steering.
Well, and it's the small steering wheel that helps too. This is the closest thing to a go-kart I've ever driven.
Yeah, you know, I used to get offended when people called it a go-kart, but now that the Model S and Model X came out, I realize it is more of a go-kart than I thought in the past. Because it was a great car that competed and in my opinion outperformed a lot of supercars. Now I'm looking at it as, yeah, a grown-up extreme go-kart.
Really fast go-kart.
Yeah.
Think that this was really their first car and it's this good.
Yeah. You know, Elon jokes now, he defended it for years, he jokes now that, you know, he didn't, you know, make a great car in this Roadster. Truthfully, I think it is a great car. I think now where they've come, it's clearly not today's technology, but
yep.
You know, this car is a great car. He did make a big mistake. They should never have gone to Lotus, but since they did, they did what they could.
Right. But it's really weird. Well, we were speaking about the values. I looked up prices for these, and these were like 2010, not the signature, and not number 22, of course. But they were going for 60, 70,000. And it's that kind of really surprised me.
Is that high or low? I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
That's low for a car like this.
Yeah,
personally, for me.
So there are a lot of people. First of all, you gotta realize when you're looking that put 40, 50, 60, 70,000, 80,000 miles on these cars. Amazingly enough, there are people who've been driving these cars as daily drivers in California or certain warmer climates where they're plentiful. And I couldn't imagine doing that, but when you take a car with that many miles, even though it doesn't really matter for an electric car, people still devalue the car. So a lot of those people, they put a lot of miles on it, so that it's harder to gauge the price there, and it does depend on the model.
Well, one of them only had 1,400 miles on it, and it was 67,000.
Yeah, and then you also have people, especially, you know, realizing that, you know, you gotta look at where they are in life, what they have. So maybe somebody just wants to dump it. It doesn't think of it ever as an investment, wants to put it towards the new Roadster, let's say, or the new Model X. And that happened a lot, obviously, when the original Model S came out. People said, oh, now that Tesla survived and succeeded, we're gonna now trade in the Roadster. So, you know, again, I've seen, I was offered, you know, 80, 90,000. I think it was a couple of years ago. And I didn't sell it. I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't sell it for less than 6 figures. And I think one day it'll be worth a lot more.
Oh yeah.
You know, we'll see. Playboy did an article back in the day that said this is the #1 future car investment.
Yep. And it's, I think at one point in time these were going for about 200,000. I saw one or two for like 200,000 or around there.
Yeah, I don't know when that was, but I mean, even the i8, there are people paying 250 and selling them in China. So, you know, the markets fluctuate. If you find the right car, so I think this is the right one because it's a signature edition. I have the original front, but I also have the new 2012 limited to 500 ever produced front, which I think looks so much sexier and nicer.
Yep.
So, you know, if you couple, you know, the factors of this car, the added carbon fiber. I have the xenon lights. The xenon lights is a $3,000 some odd edition. When this car came out, you couldn't see at night. I don't even know how it was legal to sell this car. They had halogen lights that couldn't see 5 feet in front of the car.
Jeez.
So, and I'm not exaggerating. The second I got the car, I had to upgrade. And I mean, I can keep naming it. I think there's about the carbon fiber hardtop, the carbon fiber interior parts, probably about 7,000 to 8,000 in carbon fiber editions.
Wow.
It's got a brand new electronics module. It doesn't have a lot of miles. I would say it's fair miles.
Yeah, it's right over 21,000. But
yes.
this car is a lot of fun. This road is really good too, and the steering is very responsive. That's due to the lack of power steering too.
Now let it out for like hit the pedal. You hear the sound.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can do that again. I'm gonna take you to a road where you could actually drag race. It's a private road, so you're allowed to do it, and you couldn't get pulled over. If
all right, we have to do that.
Yeah. I do it. I go dirt bike, and they actually just changed the road next to it, but mini bike and go-kart racing there.
Yeah, that would be good. And then because it's private, I can keep it on camera, which would be awesome.
Yeah, we're almost there. We'll be there in under a minute. So one day, maybe you'll be the guy who does it with me. I wanted to race the XS and the Roadster or the i8 down this road. It's wide enough for like at least 3 cars.
Oh, I would love to be able to help you with that, or at least just, even if I'm not driving, just come down and film that.
Yeah, no, I want you to probably drive one and be part of it. So the big brown black looking sign up there with the 4 leaves in front, you're gonna make the right.
Right here?
Yeah. And you can now turbo.
Alright, so let's go from a standstill and then, ready? Just let me know when to let off too. Wow! Wow, this thing is awesome.
Go around the rotary and then come back and do it again.
Oh, here it is. All right, here we go. Is insane.
You can do it again if you want.
Oh, I'm doing that again. Where to turn around?
You can turn around this parking lot right here.
Oh, yeah.
Before this, let's do a wide turn.
Yep. This is amazing.
So the only thing I see that is open is that where the car is to the left there.
Yep.
So when you go on the right, driving down this way, you're gonna be fine. But when you come back, stay more to this side.
Okay.
Because you see that car up there?
Yep. All right, here we go.
Yep.
I mean, that is fast, and it's relentless. I mean, once you get up towards 70 or so, it starts to let off. But other than that, it is from
and even though it is slower, and even though you're not feeling the
Actually,
head pulling back like you would in the Model S or Model X Performance 100 Ludicrous. But
do you have a timer? I want to see what the 0 to 60 is. Do you have like a timer on your phone or something?
I've never done that. Let's see.
3, 2, 1, go. I
don't know, it's saying 5, but I don't know, 2 people in the car.
Yeah, and it's about half battery, so.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, this car, unlike the Model S and the Model X, where the technology doesn't matter anymore.
Yep.
This car definitely slows down when the battery's not in there.
Right.
So full battery would help. Plus warming up the car. I think we warmed up the car a lot. If this car is not warmed up, especially if it's cold, you don't even have traction control.
Wow.
It actually turns off traction control. And that is not fun, because then it's really weird, because when you're used to driving this car without the brakes, with traction control off and the whole system the way it is, you actually have to use the brakes, and it just feels like you're not stopping. You let go of the pedal.
Right.
But
you want me to take that?
Yeah, sorry.
That's
I
fine.
think I got a new phone.
Yeah, I got a new phone a couple weeks ago, and my text messages have been way off. So, alright, here we go again.
This will be the last.
Yep.
Pretty cool, huh?
Oh my god, this is amazing! I have to be part of that three-way battle. That has to.
And there's something about being in such a small, light car, and you know, it just makes the experience that much better.
Right.
You know, I love the Model S, the way it pulls your head back, and the Model X, knowing I'm in an SUV.
Is that side clear? Or how's that set?
Right's clear, and left's clear. Yeah, knowing you're in an SUV and you go that fast, it makes it that much more exciting just to be in an SUV. So that you get different experiences. But just try moving left and right. Feel that. Feel how awesome that is.
Wow, that is so direct. That's unbelievable.
And again, the car is so small, so it just feels like it's an extension of you. It's just,
yeah. And the sound, once it gets up and going, that sound change is so amazing. It sounds so different.
Yeah, I actually miss that with the newer cars.
Yeah.
I used to go like a jet. What would you compare that noise to?
I was gonna say like a jet at like a Boeing 737 at full tilt and just like full throttle, and that's the sound that it compares to. And it's really, this is compared to like the Model X, where it's just like, oh okay, that's, speaking of, there's one. That's just, you know, the normal electric sound. This is out of this world for the sound. It's unlike anything else I've ever heard. But yeah, that new Roadster, it was so funny because everybody was like, oh, nobody knew this was coming, and I'm like, in the Model X video we talked about it, and you knew a lot about it before they released it.
I'm actually mad. Tesla emailed me 3 times. They called me 3 straight days. And in November they finally got a hold of me, and they said, do you want to come down to the unveiling of the Semi? And I was like, you know what, I really just, this time of year I just can't get away. And I wasn't trying to be rude, but I was just like, I'm not interested in the Semi.
Right.
I have a company, but I don't have any reasons
to get a Semi.
You know, a container truck. I don't need to drive containers around. So I had no interest. So he's like, okay, well, I'll put you down for the next unveiling. And I was like, that's great, because I'll be able to hopefully be the Roadster.
Oh,
and then without saying anything, no one told me anywhere. And I have a lot of inside information. I mean, I talked to so many people And I was like watching it, and I couldn't believe they did that. And they take it out of the semi, and I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, what? Oh my god. So
then I heard it was like, in order to get a ride, you have to pay $5,000. That's what I heard from a couple people. Like, 'cause they were offering test rides and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. Maybe you had to put $5,000 towards the deposit. I know you have to put, what was it, like 50? Oh, yeah, so that's what it was. So I think it was 5,000 initially, and then 45,000 later. And then I think it's 50,000 if you don't want the founders, and all 250 if you want one of the 1,000 founders.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of emails and texts from friends saying, "Are you getting the new Roadster? Did you put the deposit down?"
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah, you did too. And I'm like, I'm not trying to insult anyone. I'm not insulting myself either. But so I'm not, you know, Tom Brady wealth.
Yeah.
I brought up Tom Brady because he actually has the i8 like I do. I don't, you know, I know a guy in a town over who actually is a billionaire, and I know for a fact he's putting $250,000 down. He's a billionaire. Okay. To me, I can take $50,000, and I don't think it's coming out in 2 years in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I think it's happening with the Model 3 too. They have all these delays.
No, forget about it. So maybe the founders would come out in 3 years. I could see it being 4 years before the Roadster comes out. So $50,000, I'm sorry, I can use it 1,000 ways investing it better. Obviously, my own business is the main one.
Right.
So I'm not interested. Now, where it would suck is if it actually took off because people actually perceive this to be a limited edition, the fastest car. They're not going to be able to, you know, no one's going to compete with it, and it sells out.
Yeah.
Then, and it becomes like what was it, the F1 that you could buy for $1 million, and like Elon bought one, he totaled it, and then now it's like, I think Herb Chambers in New England just sold his for 14 million.
Yeah, it was 15.6 million.
Yeah.
It was a new world record for the F1.
Yeah, and he bought a Ferrari
Project 1.
And a Ferrari Enzo.
Oh, and LaFerrari.
Yeah, and a LaFerrari. So he bought a few cars with the money. You know, I think he could have bought all those cars without selling his F1. So I don't know, you know, what made him want to do that. But it's interesting.
There we go.
Just keep going straight. You know, it's interesting to see certain cars go up. A friend of mine bought the Ford GT.
The new one, or
the one that came out in like 2000? What was it, 6 or 7?
Oh, that one. Yep.
Yeah, not the new one. Sorry, the decade-old one. And he made like 150 grand on that car.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I was thinking this one a little bit. I thought the i8, people were probably laughing. The i8 is going to lose money. My Tesla friends say it's losing money. I see them holding around 100,000. Obviously, I bought the Pure Impulse, which was the 150 full, you know, out, you know, full in model. But
yeah, this is cool. This is really awesome, and it's so weird because you said 93% of this is Tesla, but it looks, there's so many people that mistake it for a Lotus.
Yeah, no, right away. Anyone who knows cars, I would say 99% of them from far away say there's a Lotus.
Yep.
Almost 100%. If you don't know cars, you may wait a lot longer until you see the emblem, and then you'd be like, wow, that's a Tesla. Yeah. But a lot of people, especially in the area, would say, oh, you have a Lotus, right? And I'm like, no, you obviously never saw it up close, or don't know me that well. But it's a Tesla. Right.
I mean, this is a driving experience like no other, and it's so much more than I expected, because all last night I was watching reviews of this. I watched Doug DeMuro's video on it.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, I watched Doug DeMuro when he started with 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
he blew up so fast.
Oh yeah, he did.
He's a funny guy.
That's like there's another channel, and they talk about like car stories and stuff like that. VinWiki. I started watching them a couple months back, and they had like 5,000 subscribers, within about a month, they were at over 100,000 subscribers. They just blew up. They have some really good stories there too.
Yeah.
Is this a stop sign here, or is that just...
No.
Okay.
So if you're going to take this car, which the only thing I've ever done with this car, may make people upset again, I don't take this car on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
I bought this car as an investment. I've driven it around town, probably within a few town radius, and I'm comfortable with that. I don't even have navigation. The system comes with it, ready to go. $300, I could have plugged it in. I just don't take this car anywhere. So I find it very fun, very comfortable the way I drive it.
Yep.
The people who take this long distances, I don't know how they do it. Maybe I'm way too spoiled. I have, Hermie Miller chairs throughout my business and homes, and the cars I have, the original Model S, when I first bought it, I hated that seat. It was so uncomfortable. My ass hurt so much. This car is so much fun, but it can be that much of a suck if you have to drive it every day, long distances. I don't think it's meant for that, and I think it would go from fun to being a nuisance. Just getting in and out of it. So many things. So if you're going to rate this car and you drive it the way and you use it the way I use it, I think you're just so fun, so happy. Like you said, a weekend go-kart. And I drive cars based on the mood. A friend of mine makes fun of me. He's like, "What day is it today? What kind of a driving day is it today?"
That's one of my dreams, is to have like 7 cars, one for every day of the week. That's just one of those, it's so unnecessary, but it's just so, the prospect of being able to do that is so intriguing to me.
It does get expensive in New England with the excise tax every year and the insurance in every car.
Yep.
But I have some cars that aren't right now insured and aren't being driven, and I have 4 cars currently that I drive often enough. This car is still in the rotation of driving. We'll see if it ever comes off that rotation.
I think what would be a really good drag race between 2 cars would be this and the i8. I think that would actually be pretty close.
There's pretty comparable. I think the i8 would beat it.
Is it here?
Yeah. But it depends on who you believe. I mean, car and drivers of the i8 is 3.6. BMW understated it, or depending on how you look at that, over or understated. But they said 4.2, but I'm sure it's faster than 4.2.
So I did not touch the brake at all.
Yeah, no, you don't need to.
That's hilarious. There we go.